2 years ago, I published an app I developed called Astrophotography Planner on the iOS App Store, and today I'm excited to announce that the Android version is here. The app is a tool to help astrophotographers decide what to take a picture of. The point of the app is to suggest the most optimal targets for a given night, location, equipment, and moon phase. I personally use it before every imaging session so that I know I am taking full advantage of clear skies. Before the app is released on the Play Store, I need to recruit some beta testers. So if you are an astrophotographer and you have an Android phone, you can find a link in the description to join the beta test. This is the homepage of the app. At the top, it tells you the moon phase, the current night we're looking at, as well as the location that we're looking at. Below that is a carousel of the top 5 recommended targets. Under that is the top 10 nebulae, the top 10 galaxies, and the top 10 star clusters. Each target can be clicked on, which takes you to a detail page about it. You get some stats, a graph showing the target's visibility over the course of the night, and then a calculated visibility score, which is the percentage of the night that the target is above the horizon. It tells you when the target rises, when it crosses the meridian, and when it sets. And then the season score relates the best time of year to image the target in relation to right now. So this target was recommended, so it makes sense that the season score is very high, and it looks like this target is optimal to image in early August. Then you get a little brief description with a link to its Wikipedia page. This is also true of the targets in the list below. You can click any of them to take you to its detail page. Not every target has a picture, unfortunately. This is just a limitation of copyright that I am working on fixing. So at the top of this page, we have 3 buttons for selecting how targets are recommended. On the very right, we have a location. Right now it's set to current location, and you can also add custom locations. So I have home added, so I can switch to that location, and the report will regenerate. And show you its new recommendations. The same goes for the date. So you can select any date you want here. Below that, you can select the viewing interval, which is the portion of the night that you intend to image during. And this can affect which target is most optimal. The viewing interval defaults to dusk to dawn, and the definitions of dusk and dawn are set below in this darkness threshold. You have astronomical twilight, nautical twilight, and civil twilight. So you can choose which level of darkness you would like. Now, if we switch the viewing interval to custom, we can adjust it. So let's say that we're only able to image until midnight. So we can adjust this to just around midnight, and then the report will regenerate, choosing the most optimal targets for that window of imaging. The third option at the top is an imaging preset. Right now it's selected at none, but we will go over those more a little later. So let's look at the catalog here. This is a list of every target included within the app. Up at the top, you can search for any target you want, and that will take you to it. Below the search bar are various filter chips. So let's say you wanted to filter by type and you only want to look for reflection nebula. Now it shows you all the reflection nebula included in the catalog. Similarly, we can filter by size. So let's say you don't want a really small target, but you want a wide field one, relatively. So now we're only looking at targets with a size greater than about 200 arcseconds. And then the chip at the very left here, that allows you to change the sort method. So we could sort by size, let's say. And then this also gives you access to all the filters in one place here, which is the same as they were before. And similarly, you have access to picking a location and the date on this page as well. Now let's look at the settings. So here you can add locations, can name them, then you insert the latitude, longitude, and pick the time zone. Additionally, you could use your phone's location services and get the current location. And then here you can also choose your imaging presets, which I mentioned earlier. You can name these and you can select a focal length. You can put in your pixel size, the resolution of your camera, and then add it. And then back at the report, we can select the preset, and then that will suggest targets based on the field of view of your preset. And then advanced settings. Hide targets to never rise. If you turn that on, that will hide them all in the catalog page. Lowest acceptable altitude to image. This value determines the visibility score. And so if you set it higher than 0, which is the horizon, then the visibility score will be more strict. Minimum FOV coverage. This is the ratio between the length of the imaging preset's field and the arc length of the target. Minimum visibility score. This determines the minimum allowed visibility in the daily report. And then you can filter for moon phase. So if we turn this on, if the moon illumination is below max moon for broadband imaging, broadband targets will be suggested. Additionally, if you turn on prefer broadband on moonless nights, then broadband targets will be recommended more strongly than narrowband targets on a moonless night. If the moon illumination is above max moon for broadband imaging, then broadband targets will be filtered out of the report and you will only be shown narrowband targets. But again, this can all just be disabled if you turn off filter for moon phase. So that concludes the brief tour of the app, and once again, you'll find a link to join the beta in the video description. I really need help to get some beta testers in so that I can move towards releasing the app on the Play Store. Also, in the future, I have plans to add many more features to both the iOS and Android versions of the app, so you have that to look forward to.